Hello there, I'm MC Toon, the worst rapper in the world. Today I was going to be debating JM Truth, but sadly he said he had a family emergency, so I kind of tend to believe it because he's not the kind of guy to run from a debate. Yeah, he has abandoned us, though, so. That's sad. Anyway, so I thought I'd still do a short debate, a short live stream. I in a very short notice like that, I just can't. I can't bring in somebody quick because it takes some time for them to decide if they want to run or not. So anyway, I thought I'd do just a quick thing here just so at least people knew that there was no debate with JM Truth, but there is one in about 2 hours with another guy. I booked a double header just in case, and it turned out to be a good idea. Another guy named Michael Adcox. He's a flat earther from the same Facebook group, I think, that both Flat Ferdinand or Fred or Flat Phillip, that FTFT debated twice, and Wayne Moonshine or whatever that guy is. So Michael Adcox is from that same group. It's about 10 o'clock Central Time. I will pop in the video link here. Hold on. That's it right there. There's the video link is in the live stream there. So let's see. I did ask one guy, Dylan Fritsch, if he wanted to debate, but he's on Facebook. He's a little whatever. Yeah, monochromatic light source. Put Punchy on again. Punchy, you mean Flunchy? He was hilarious, and I realized that I didn't really introduce Vishanti, Concave Vishanti, so I got a bunch of people asking me, was she for real? So yeah, she's not for real. She's not actually a concave. She was very funny though. So thank you both to Flat Earth Punchy and Concave Vishanti last week for doing that, for popping in a short notice and having a fun time. So I do have I have this old thing here, and I have another surprise. So let me find that. This is a F in exams. I always like to go over that, and I tend to start here with the math ones. Let's see. Oh, what is a six-sided polygon known as? What is a six-sided polygon known as? Actually, I need to do something here. I'm gonna this guy here, this Dylan guy who thinks he's. Hold on. Be with you in a second here. I gotta click on the reply button correctly here. To Dylan. All right, F in exams. Here we go. Yes, a six-sided polygon is known as a hex. No, according to this guy, it's a stop sign. Let's see. There you go. A stop sign is a six-sided polygon. They have 8 sides. So, hey, MC Toon, brother Ernest, former flat earther with national recognition, admits the Earth is not flat. Well, good, brother Ernest. National recognition. I don't recognize you. Sorry. I was wrong. The Earth is not flat. Reach out to me. Well, if you want, brother Ernest, you could join in if you wanted to say something right now. My Discord link is in the description, and you could send me a DM on Discord. That would do it. So let's see. Oh yeah, all right. So there's effing exams. Can't do too many because there aren't all that many. But here's what this is: a 2x2 Rubik's cube with Homer Simpson's head. So, and it came unsolved, and I solved it. It's a little difficult because it's all weird, but you can. Oh, it's so funny. You can. You make him. It gets all goofy, and it's like, look at that. There you go. There's Homer's head, all wacky, and I'm not gonna be able to focus enough during this to do it now. So anyway, there you go. There's that. I'll have to solve it later. I can solve this one, which is just in a. Oh, I do that in a pattern here. Yeah, and so yeah, Brother Ernest, president of NASA Lies Inc. So yeah, Brother Ernest. Yeah, I'm come into the Discord. Maybe we can talk about it. That'd be funny. That'd be good. That'd be fun. Not funny. So Dylan Fritsch has run from a live challenge. So, all right. Run. There you go. Brother Ernest said he fell for a terrible conspiracy. Yes. Bitwise79 actually bought a Rubik's Cube because of your tooling with yours during debates, trying to relearn the algorithms. Yeah, if you don't do them for a while, yeah, you kind of get, you forget them. So, yep. I shouldn't do it now. What am I doing here? Dylan running from me. Running from a live debate. So, well, anyway. Oh, I'm dressed all fancy. I do. I have 2 layers. And one of them has a zipper that only goes partially down, not all the way down. So, that's I don't know, fancy for me. So, Brother Ernest, what do you think? Could you want to pop in here? I don't know who you are. If you are a flat earther or an ex-flat earther, cool. Dylan Fritsch, are you gonna internet bully me? Like, say your dad can beat up my dad. My dad probably wouldn't bother. It's not that kind of dad. Yeah, Brother Ernest. Pretty embarrassing. Had to go back to Harvard University and apologize. The school made a documentary about... No, oh my gosh, he's just lying now. Curve Pimp. Queer Eye for MC Toon Guy makeover. Oh. Yeah, I clearly I have a very one-dimensional style. T-shirt and sometimes a sweatshirt. Jeans every day if I'm not wearing shorts. So, like I said once, what bad sequence of decisions would I have to make in order to need to wear a suit every day? Wouldn't want that. Let's see what Dylan says. Dylan. Yeah, Bob Nodell, Nathan Thompson was supposed to be in the live chat. Karen B, I challenged her. She said she doesn't debate anymore, even though there was a video that said she'd debate anybody on Flat Earth. Interesting. So, AT2 Productions about my attire. Is that you say that like it's a bad thing? Yeah, I don't know. I don't like a suit. I did wear a suit for quite a few years. I didn't like it. So the computer doesn't care what I look like, and that's most of what sees me. Now you guys see me, and yeah, who wants to bet either Gleam or Gary or TomTom will come in the chat? Well, Gary probably, but Gary he'll never go on live, and TomTom won't either. So. Oh Oh my goodness, Michael Adcox is asking for a delay as well. I double booked. Oh, I double booked so that if one canceled, I'd have another. And now he's... Yes. Let's see. My tablet is... He doesn't have it with him. He had a relative in the hospital. He says he's ready for the debate and excited. Doesn't want me to think he's backing out. Been looking for... Oh my goodness. 2 cancels in the same day. That is sad. So... Dylan. Jim Keller is in here talking, and Joe Cook both, and I don't really know them too much. Yeah, quit asking me to sprinkle them titties, says MC2. Time to start quad booking. And Punchy says they're scared of me. I don't know. Like people agree and then don't show. It's so I don't know. Both Michael Adcox and JM Truth say that they're not running. I don't know. So Dylan here. Maybe Dylan. Give me a second. I don't know. Dylan, so what do you say? Brother Ernest wants on. Yeah, Brother Ernest. Brother Ernest, in the description for the video, you will find you can either email me, which my email address is in there, mctoon@mctoon.net. That's not hard. There you go. Or you can jump on my Discord server, and then I'll grab a invite. Just a second. Expire after never. Copy. There you go. So you can join Discord and send me a message there, or you can send me an email. Yeah, so JM had a family, he called it a family affair, so I'm figuring it's an emergency. Andrea H said something in Discord there. So Geistview, AT2 doxed me. I had to send pictures so he would stop. Oh. All right, Brother Ernest, what are you thinking? I'm ready. Steam and Cup of Reason, you're back. JM proved the flat Earth. We can all go home, says Geistview. Congratulations. Oh. Wally Olmsted is in there getting on Dylan. So, Dylan, come on, buddy. Let's see what I sent him a friend request. He nothing from him. So what do we say? We got an email from don't have an email yet from Brother Ernest. I don't know who Brother Ernest is. He seems maybe to be just joking, right? Or is Brother Ernest just going to say he's going to join and then cancel? Because that's the trend. So, and I have my jar here, and we don't even have what's his name? Craven Mordick. Why am I angry typing? It's years of typing. My fingers are just pumped and so muscular. Yeah, our FTFE and team just trying to make people rage quit now. Oh, Negative Exponents. Ernest is a concaver now. He's legit. I get it. So he's an ex-flat earther. He's a current concaver. I've not debated a concaver yet. I did interview Sam Hancock. And, oh, there he is. And Sam was a very nice guy. If you look back on my Coffee with a Flat Earther Concaver. So, all right, Brother Ernest, I've got him in my Discord server, and we will see if that's the wrong one. Let's see. I need the invite link. Where do I get the invite link? I haven't done this for a while. It usually gives me the there it is. Copy joining info. So, all right. We'll see what Concaver Brother Ernest has to say. And Punchy has some high IQ tabs going. So let's see. I'm going to have to switch some audio around here. Blue Snowball. Speakers, live stream. And let's see. I need to change this. Live stream audio. So, what do you think, Brother E? Are you coming in? Brother E is also a polygamist. Interesting. Oh, do I? Yeah, maybe. I accidentally turned on captions. Maybe he's. I have heard of him. Has he debated somebody else? So, all right, Brother Ernest, you've got the invite link. So, get to it. Yes, I got my pumped fingers. Brady Beaver for $2 Canadian. Take my money, you sexy bastard. So, Catherine Masso, MC Tune, like a theoretical polygamist or an actual polygamist? Like, are there actually two women interested? That's a good question. That's a good question. So, all right, where are you at here, Brother Ernest? I said the last name right. He said he's loading it. Okay. So, Catherine Masso. I'm glad I could say it right. I don't know why EAU gets a long O sound, but God bless the French. So, let me see. Let me do this. I will, just for some fun. In fact, hard Brainy Beaver, what's that in US? Like 75 cents? I don't think Canadian dollars are that bad. And Surf, Brainy gave you fake money, so have some real stuff. Thank you, Surf, for $2. All right, so here we go. It's all mixed up. And somebody time me. I'm not timing me. I have the lights are a little bit low in here, so it's a little difficult to see sometimes because I am colorblind. If you guys were in for that live stream, where I took a colorblind test and people were yelling at me. So, Brother Ernest is here. All right, Brother Ernest, can you hear me? Because I cannot hear you. So, and I have a picture of that. I'll have to get that out of there. There we go.
How you doing, MC Tune?
There we go. All right, so I can hear you, and I think people
Give me
can hear
just a second. It's wanting me to restart my browser before I access camera. Let me come right back to you. And I just want you to know that everything that I've mentioned to you is honest and sincere. And I'm not here to waste your time or be just be deceptive in any way. So I'll be right back after I restart this browser, and then I think my camera will turn on.
All right, sounds good.
So long.
So, all right, while he's doing that, I will solve this cube here. And there's two of me. Got some Inception going on. Let's see. So Apophis Rex says he's a Poe. Brainy Beaver says start the dumpster fire. Well, I have seen some debates with concavers that went a little dumpstery, like the one with FTFE and Team Skeptic. Punchy says, here's 15 cents because I'm swell like that for $2 Canadian. Thank you for that. While we're waiting, I gotta finish this. I distract myself. I gotta finish this. So, Punchy actually got a shirt, an MC Toon themed shirt. So I'll bring up a picture. So. There it is. Now, I don't do this the efficient way, if anybody is asking. I don't know what my technique's called. It's not that fast, but it works. It eventually gets there. So, negative end exponent says he isn't a Poe. Well, that's good. I don't really want to debate a Poe. A Poe would be somebody who's fake. Fake flat earther, a fake something. So, well, I gotta tell Dylan he lost his chance. I'll type gently. Got a placement. So, a perfect 33 minutes and 33 seconds to solve the cube. This looks like an 80s music video. Oh, yeah, because there's two of me here. Let me go back to that. There you go. Oh, Apophis Rex is saying all concavers are trolls. So, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how you can be a concaver. I don't know where Jason Mack is. He's usually here. He's kind of a nice guy. I think. But yeah, he won't debate for some reason. So let me get that. I was going to get that picture of Punchy. So let me do that. Video. Oh, that's not right. There it is. There it is. There it is. All right. So let's get up there. I don't know what's going on with crud. What was Brother Ernest, the concaver? Where'd he go? We'll have to look up another. There it is. There we go. We'll have to look up another F in exams for him. Anyway, so there's Punchy, the real Punchy, not the flat Earth Punchy, with a shirt on that says MC Toon, I'm sorry, did the middle of my sentence interrupt the beginning of yours? So there you go. That's in the description if you want to get your own version and look just like Punchy. John Rapp for $5 Australian. This $5 note is purple. Everyone is copying Aussie money or having us make it. We're clever that way. Now you've got us all here. Dance for us, mate. You don't want to see me dance. It's not pretty. Provide the link again. Oh, it's the same link. So he was in. I don't know. That's weird. So let's. Is that my wife? Quit asking me to sprinkle them titties. Is that my wife? She's a hottie. That's not my wife. Then we went back to Inception there. That is Punchy. The real Punchy. Negative Exponent says he will show up. He just seems to be having a problem with the browser camera. Are you like in the same room as him, Negative Exponents? AT2 Production says you demand a sex dance. Why would you get a sex dance if there was no appropriate money? We need definitely don't want a sex dance from Ernest. Yes, Punchy's a star. Punchy was on last week, and he was funny. Sewer Tape says anybody would be lucky to have Punchy as a wife. So, yeah. In case you're just coming in, all 93 of you, JM Truth had a family emergency and has asked if we can reschedule. And Biggest Boom says we need 4 MC tunes, 1 in each corner. Brainy Beaver says Punchy has a pretty mouth. So Negative Exponents says no, I just find him to be one of the more honorable flat earthers or concaver. So AT2 Twofold Temptation MC Tune, get your ready and entice someone to super chat the correct monetary type. Exactly. If you want to see that type of dance, it's for sale, I guess. No G-string though, but oh, there it is. Glober Chris. For AT2 Productions, pleasure, do it MC Tune. That's all you get. There was an animated GIF of me doing that. So that I think Glober Chris was involved in making. So Punchy says that's the nicest thing anyone has ever said to me about having a pretty mouth, or no, being a beautiful wife. So let's get another look at that. There you go. It's there. Punchy wearing a shirt. So I suppose I could be a proper shill and put the actual link right in there. So here we go. Here you go. Get your own shirt and look just like it, Punchy, with that link. Is he in a hotel? Yeah, that's a good question. Is Punchy, was that taken in a hotel? It looks like he lives in a hotel. Well, look, he has a clean house. He has no kids. How do you just don't know what a clean house looks like because you have kids. I know the same thing. 33 kids is a ton of kids to have. So, all right, we've got Brother Ernest again.
All right, let me know if you can see me. I had to install a new browser. For some reason, my Chrome was disabling my camera faster than I could figure out what the heck was going on.
Well, I do not see you. I see somebody drinking coffee in a still picture. So,
well, I am just totally unaware of why my camera will not work on 3 browsers. I'm going to keep trying to look and see if I can reinstall my camera. But I run a printing business, and so I have a lot of security features that our tech put on our cameras. So let's see, allowed temporarily. I may not have allow audio video. See what happens there.
Still nothing. Sometimes you need to go to settings in right in the
yeah, I'm looking at that really quick.
Yeah.
Just so everybody knows while I'm getting this all started, I am the president currently of NASALives.org. It is a Massachusetts nonprofit, oh my God, that I founded in 2016 thinking that the earth was flat, and I wanted to file lawsuits against schools, in which I filed several complaints against the Enola Pennsboro school district. And now I have to come back to realize that several years later, how wrong I absolutely was, that the earth is not flat. And I was around long before Tiger Dan, long before Eric Dubay came on the scene, being really, really known in 2015, long before Mark Sargent was out, um, even before the guy named Rob Skiba, who came into Flat Earth a little later than I did. Um, I was out there from 2012 and beyond, just being a flat earther and doing my own thing, constantly struggling while I worked at American Atheists Incorporated. And I was hired by American Atheists Incorporated for my biblical remembrance and knowledge and debating um, religious people. And I found out in turn that I became the most religious person I think anybody had ever met. And gosh, MC Tune, I don't know how to say to the so many people out there that visit our site. We currently have the #1 flat Earth website beyond the Flat Earth Society out of the United States. Our site has the highest ranking for flat Earth, and I'm just at a position now, man, to where I'm decompressing. Nothing's really making sense, but I know I fell into an awful conspiracy, and I drug both of my wives into it, and how terrible it is that, we have to go back and admit that, we were absolutely wrong. And I'd really love for my camera to be on. I have no idea why it's not working. Turn off camera. It says it's on. I'm just sorry. I don't have camera. I don't know why my Mac is just screwing up on me. I can try a Windows if that'll help, but maybe it won't.
Yeah, so I don't know what to say. If you're on Windows, I'm on a Mac. I don't do Windows. I do write software, but all of the stuff I write runs on Linux. So
oh yeah, my old man who got me interested into what I do for a living. I tear apart printers that are inkjet printers, and I turn them into direct-to-garment printers, and I sell them for a few $1,000s. So I'll go buy a printer for $600 and turn around and sell it for $5,000. Amongst all the things that I'm thankful to this flat Earth conspiracy for is that it got me interested in printing, because nobody would print my message. I couldn't go get a shirt that says NASA lies in 2013 because nobody would print it. And then I had to learn, geez, I guess I got to be my own printer. And today I would be considered what's called a master printer. I teach at printing at local schools. Currently, my wife and I are VPs of our school PTO. It's just, we had to eat a lot of humble pie. I mean, truly, we just had to eat humble pie.
So you said your site is
NASALies.org.
the biggest. Yeah, you said it's the biggest flat Earth site.
Well, it's the most accessed flat Earth site until I quit updating it about a year and a half ago.
Okay, is it
in America?
Is it
so?
So you stopped updating. Why did you not switch it over to your concave theme? Or
I mean, here's the thing. Before I become dogmatic on a subject, I'm just really, in honesty, MC Tune, I'm so afraid of being dogmatic and being wrong again that I just want to be slow and try to recover so much of the mess that I got my family into. And while I think that, like most flat earthers, I just want to talk about myself kind of in general, but speaking about flat earthers, I don't think that flat earthers, including myself, truly understood the basics of science that's taught in high schools and colleges. I mean, I went to Harvard.
That's a pretty common thing with the flat earthers. They don't have a grasp of even middle school physics and math usually.
Yeah, I mean, I think that even though I went to Harvard and there were, at times, 50, 60,000 people watching our live videos when I was debating at Harvard, the number one, and MIT and different universities across the country, I think that the number one problem that convexers or globe earthers or even hollow earthers or concavers who are all, on this spherical or in a spherical ball, I think the number one thing that they have to do is they spend more time dismantling the stupidity of a flat earther's arguments, including mine previously, that they can't really get to the source of the subject, because you're cracking a 2x4 against a goat's horns who is able to just crack heads. And so it's really hard to get through to flat earthers, me formerly, because we have a Dunning-Kruger effect so strong in our minds that we believe our conspiracy over evidence, and it just causes a massive problem for people who have no time to really debate and get to the subject when these guys and myself don't understand science. And I have a really hard time still applying certain things. I believe that NASA lies, and so does the United States government. All governments are lying to an extent, and it's just processing what the balance of those lies are and not falling so far off the scale that everything's become such a lie. The one thing I can say, at least that globe believers have, is they have maps and models that actually work. And that's a problem for flat earthers, because I had to go around lying to people, telling them that there was this 65,000 mile ice wall that was really, in fact, nothing more than 300-kilometer ice wall in the south regions of the Earth. Yeah, man,
Okay.
it's just it's overwhelming to me,
So so a lot of people in the chat are asking, because they're expecting JM Truth, and he had a family emergency. So I appreciate you coming on. So could you give an overview of your position, or at least what it seems like you maybe aren't totally certain, but that'd be good.
I think yeah, absolutely, I can do that, and maybe we can do another video in the future where the cameras work and stuff. I didn't expect this at all. Nathan Thompson used to work for me in the past, worked directly for me,
as an employee.
Well, yeah, as a national director of NASALides.org.
Oh, okay.
And I really don't know what I'm going to do with the organization, MC Toon, because it's set up it's founded through the Secretary of the State as a nonprofit flat Earth education organization. And I say, well, the Earth isn't flat, so therefore I'm not qualified to be the president anymore, unless the bylaws are changed.
Well, can you not change the bylaws?
Yeah, I could change the bylaws. The problem is that, I truly, MC Toon, to be honest and forthcoming, I don't know where the hell we live. I just know that there's maps that work. There's explanations. Yeah, there's and there are concave and cosmic egg maps that you can go to concave, type in Google concave Earth maps galore, and you'll come up with over 700 concave Earth maps that are just like the sphere Earth, only inverted. But they work. Everything makes sense. It's that the problem that I have is I'm just hell, one of my wives almost left me because of this. I was so damn dogmatic about it. I ruined my child's life, and I just don't want to be. I don't want to be in a position where I'm telling people that I know where they live, MC Toon, when I didn't finish college. I don't have a science degree.
Well,
I don't have.
You don't need that. There's plenty of people that don't have that. But here I got a couple questions people are asking. Why don't you use your Flat Earth website to if you have a strong opinion that that's not true, to change that? right? It seems to me I would really want to change that quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I truly do. And
if it's spreading what
absolutely.
you think are lies, wouldn't you want to do that?
Absolutely, I do. I mean, they are lying without doubt. Without a doubt, they're lying. And I had to be honest with myself and say, my God, I've lied to so many people. And before all these, internet flat earthers came about, there was me fighting school districts. And yeah, I do want to go back to and try to correct this problem. But the problem that I find, MC Tune, and maybe you're finding too, is that you're fighting so much just to discredit the bullshit that I used to believe and flat earthers used to believe. And so you can't really get to the core of the issue.
Oh yeah, and just so you know, I do try to keep a little family friendly. So if you want to,
oh yeah, gotcha. I'm
moderate
sorry.
that.
I just
it's okay.
flat earth.
You didn't know, yeah. So
Yeah. Okay, so I can refrain from using that
yeah,
word. Let's
I
call
appreciate
it
that. So all right.
whatever.
So yeah,
The one thing I have to do, MC Tune, before I do anything,
okay.
is assure that both of my wives that I'm not leading them on a crazy rabbit trail. Because my younger wife is worth a lot of money. She's a registered nurse, and there's just a lot of
Are you in the United States?
a lot of yeah, I'm in the United States.
Okay.
I've already been tried in Framingham for violation of polygyny, and I've been tried for the anti-cohabitation, and the judge, David Kunis of Framingham District Court, refused to prosecute me because my argument was, Judge, if homosexuals can marry and they cannot produce children, I can truly have 2 or 3 wives to produce children. It's the next logical step for the Supreme Court. And he said, well, the children are not harmed. I don't see any harm in what you're doing. You're providing an income. And I brought my family from Pennsylvania to Massachusetts because Massachusetts has the best public schools in the country. And so I want to make sure that I instill into my children an education and that they don't end up like me, dropping out of college. And here I am, a printer, when they can go to college in the best schools, they can actually finish the best public schools in the United States of America, and they have a better chance at, going to a good college and really learning something that's beneficial. And I think my problem is that, I dropped out of high school. I went into college a year and a half earlier than all my peers. When I was in college, I started earning $65,000 as a 20. It took me 2 years to do that. So yeah, 21-year-old kid, and I devalued education. And so I think that a lot of flat earthers are in that position, MC Tune, to where they don't trust the education system. We already don't trust the government. And so therefore our own conspiracies take a greater weight. And so my wives are just like, hey, I want you to slow down.
Yeah. All right.
And
so that's a lot of background stuff. Right. It's a little beside the point, right? So I asked, what two things that I kind of didn't really get an answer. One is, what do you actually believe? And the other is, about why didn't you at least shut down the website or do everything you can to stop telling what you say.
Good question.
Lies.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I'm a printer. Okay. So I'm not a website developer. And when I came out and I admitted that the earth was not flat, our webmaster went psycho on me and just quit and walked away and left the site high and dry and violated his contract with me. At that point, violation of his contract is worthless because the guy's broke, doesn't have a penny to his name, and went through a bad divorce and everything. And so, I'm just kind of like out there trying to find a website developer to come back in and start where I left off and begin to discredit the website or discredit flat earth. And that's a long process. It's a long process finding somebody that I can trust that won't hijack the site and take it from us, and then you try to serve somebody and you don't know where they're at. And then I've gone to local companies, MC Tune, and they're like, we're not going to do it, man. We don't believe this stuff.
So do you make money off of it?
No, I don't make money. The corporation is set up as a nonprofit.
Okay, because there's a
So
there's a store. Let's see, I'm looking at it right now, and so there is some concave Earth stuff in there now.
yeah, there's Concave Earth stuff in there. The site hasn't been updated since what did he left back in maybe
Okay.
September of last year, and so I just haven't updated the site beyond anything really um, of good material. I do think that Concave Earth answers a lot of questions that Flat Earth doesn't answer, but what I was really intending to do is to build the site to invite globe earthers, concave earthers, hollow earthers, and flat earthers to accept one common ground is that like the rest of the government, NASA we believe is lying for taxation purposes. But now MC Toon, I like printing more than I do causing terror. I
I
find
think
it a
that's a
lot
great
more
idea.
fulfilling.
There's a lot of flat earthers on Facebook, and every once in a while they're like, "Why do you
I've
guys?"
gotten death threats from them. I gotten death threats from
Yeah.
flat
So
earthers.
here's what they say. Well, why do you guys, the globe earthers, why do you guys spend this time on the internet? Why can't we just have our own opinions? Like, I'm fine with everybody having their own opinion. It's when people go out and stand out in some public area and start yelling or try to push stuff, or why
Um,
can't I go to it's a little annoying if you want to go watch a rocket launch on YouTube. There's a whole bunch of comments in there that are whining about stuff, making claims that are not true, I think. So that's the problem I have with it, and I think a lot of people do.
I think the problem that I have with it today is that flat Earth is used as a religious propaganda, and the problem is that religious propaganda starts to affect young children, and it creates a very serious discourse in the family and in the classroom. And fortunately, I've been able to go to public schools and talk about my experience as a flat earther. Of course, as a PTO dad, it's very, very, very prominent. I made 125 T-shirts for all the teachers in our school that the Earth is not flat. I used the NASA logo and put on there, "The Earth is not flat. Trust us, we're teachers." And man, that was just kind of my way of saying, as much as I could, "Hey, everybody, I'm sorry. I truly am sorry that I fell into this evil
Okay,
conspiracy."
so
And
but now you think that something else is a conspiracy. So
well,
Brainy.
no, no, no. What I'm saying is this: is I am not understand something very clear. I'm just at the position now to where when I say I don't know where the hell we live, I don't know what to believe. Um, I can say things like this: I know the Earth isn't flat. I know that the arguments fail. Just like I don't have to tell you the arguments that
Okay,
fail. You know the arguments that fail concerning concave,
yeah. So
concerning how.
why do you think that is a more valid proposition than the standard idea?
Well, for one, in the greatest part is the southern rotation, or the observer who observes the southern rotation of the stars, the sun, the moon, the 24-hour midnight sun in Antarctica. It's impossible on a flat Earth to have a 24-hour midnight sun in Antarctica while the rest of the Earth is also receiving their sun,
Yeah, but
and the sun's localized right above them.
I'm
That to
not
me,
I'm not a flat earther.
oh, I know, no, but I'm telling
So
you one
so
that I don't believe in.
yeah, but
It works on the globe,
so
and
so
it works on
so
concave.
what is it about the globe, not flat Earth? What is it about the globe that you don't think is correct versus where you think the concave is maybe more correct?
Um, all right, so for one, I've got some of the best cameras that have been known to man. Um, Long before anybody came out with YouTube videos on the Nikon P900, I was out filming ships here in the Boston Sea and filming stars the day the camera came out. The day the camera came out, I bought that camera because I wanted to use it to videotape way away so that they couldn't see me. And I ended up just getting more interested in filming the sun and the moon. And so the thing is, I don't think that the moon is a rock. I think that the moon is an apparition of light, be it on the globe Earth, the concave Earth. I don't think it's a rock. I don't think you can land on the moon. And there's a lot of globe believers that don't believe man landed on the moon.
So why do you think the moon is not a physical object?
Well, because I filmed it very, very, very intricately with P1000 and Nikon P900. I've been to Harvard, MIT. I've looked at the observatory. I just have proven to myself that I don't think it's a rock.
Okay, but why?
I don't think
so far that's just your opinion, right? What
why?
Evidence?
Because you can. Okay, so there's atmospheric refraction. I know you're going to come back to me with these. I mean, I truly believe that we can see the sky behind the moon, and I filmed and videoed star behind the moon, and that shouldn't really be possible.
Now,
and I've got the videos.
I've seen people claim that, and then it turns out that they move the camera and the star moves with the camera. It's just a dead pixel, right? I've seen those.
No, because if you look on, there, I forget which flag it is. The Muslim flag shows the star right through the moon.
Okay, that's not evidence.
Let me look that up.
It's just a.
I know it's not evidence.
Just a drawing.
Listen, I know
I don't care about that.
Is it a drawing? I mean, yes, it's a drawing, but for centuries they believed that you could not land on the moon.
I don't care what they believed. I don't care what ancient people believe. It's evidence. I care about evidence, right? So what?
Yeah. So in my case, I think I found enough evidence to say that the moon is a light. That I don't think it's a rock. I don't think that I wouldn't be able to film through a rock with either of my cameras or a telescope.
Sure.
I think that's a very valid point. And it just there's a lot of similarities between. What I think works on a globe and what I think could work on a concave or a hollow Earth. And I'm just going to say this, man, that as far as trying to get me to defend the concave Earth from a scientific position, I can't do it. You need to talk to our national director, and that guy's name is Joshua James Bolerio, who is probably the smartest person that I've ever met. He's a CNC machinist. The
guy's by Zenith Atlas, right?
Yeah, you would definitely want to get that guy on the show because, look, I'm smart enough today to say that emphatically I don't have every answer. As a matter of fact, I don't even understand. I don't understand a lot of the theories or the principles of the concave Earth, but I could absolutely say one thing, that the Earth to me is not flat. If it were flat, the horizon would not keep rising up to the eye level. It would be far below you. And if the Earth was a ball, the horizon would drop and continue to drop the higher up you go and the higher up NASA goes.
And it does.
And well, if I don't want to argue with you, I'm not here to argue with that. I'm not here to argue the precepts of whether I think the concave Earth is correct or not. That's why I have a national director. But what I am here to do is to tell you that concerning flat Earth, I know absolutely enough to refute any flat Earth argument that I could do.
Well, yeah, because that's not really a.
There's
no flat earthers here to disagree with you.
Well, I mean, they disagree with me every day.
Yeah, but not on my channel, and I don't know. Maybe there's a couple in the chat.
I think in most cases, though, that I could honestly admit that there's a lot. The sun analemma makes so much sense to me on a concave Earth, and without being able to show you my desktop, it's going to be really hard. But you might look at seasons on the concave Earth, and that might make sense to you if you see the models that they've developed. It's really, really interesting because the sun being projected from the inside of the concave or the celestial sphere, the sun analemma moves up and down to both the Tropic of Cancer and the southern the southern tropic, and I don't see how that's possible, on a globe. But hey, I defer that to you because you might know better than I do. But I can honestly say, if you're on the inside of that thing, right, right. So
there's no
yes, that's
problem.
what.
It's completely predicted and it works.
Yes, and there's no problem if you're projecting that light through the center of the concave Earth. Kelly, quiet, thank you. Sorry, my first wife just came in screaming like a baritone, and I have to remind her that I'm on a live call here. So it works on both models. If you truly look at the Sun Analema MC tune, it definitely works on both models, both the Cosmic Egg model and the Globe Earth model. And that's why I think that, concavers have a lot more in common with globe earthers than they realize. Because a lot of the same things will work. You can have a 24-hour midnight sun in Antarctica on both models. You can have a 24-hour midnight sun in the northern hemisphere in Norway, Alaska, and Greenland on both models, but you can't do it on a flat Earth.
I agree, but and I've seen a couple concave models, but the obvious one is why would the sun ever set? Because there's nothing in the way.
Well, that's a good question. So there is something in the way called glass in the sky. So glass in the sky is pretty evident from Libyan desert glass. Where's it coming from? Megacriometeors, where's that coming from? If you've never heard of megacriometeors, look, I got into a discussion with a MIT graduate who's like, man, have you ever heard of megacriometeors when I was a flat earther? I'm like, hell no, man, I've never heard of that in my life. He goes, then you truly aren't qualified to even argue this subject. Right. You need to get your ass off the property.
So how does it, you didn't explain how it works yet. So don't need the background. Just give me how it works.
Yes, there's glass in the sky. It's what we have at our Kármán line, which is 62 miles up. It's where large 2,000-pound chunks of ice are falling through the sky, crashing into people's houses, and it's not from airplanes.
But why?
You laugh about it. About it.
No. I'm laughing because you're off. You distracted yourself again. Why, if there's glass, what explains that the sun goes down? Because if the glass is up there, why would the sun go down there?
Well, because we have something called bifringence, that is lights reflecting off the glass. That's why flat earthers think that there's two suns. Have you ever seen a flat earther think that airplanes fly higher than the sun? There's a lot of them. And if you find a lot of flat earthers that think there's two suns. And so that's from reflections. Like that's what causes rainbows, glass in the sky, and the glass is falling.
But if the glass is up here,
yeah,
why does the sun? And because if it's concave, we're here, and in the middle, right, is another sphere of glass or something, right? So, but why does the sun set there?
Well, because this is why I need to be able to show you my models that I have. So say, for instance, you can look up a MOVA constellation globe. MOVA constellation globe shows what's called the black sun. It's a very powerful tool in the hands of a person that's trying to explain the star charts. The glass in the sky works like this. If you've ever seen like my plasma lamp that I have here, there's a center core of light that is sending out light through the glass. And of course, the glass is causing a reflection of the light. And the MOVA constellation sphere, or globe as they call it, gives a great explanation of what happens when you shine light from a center point. Think of the plasma ball. Have you seen a plasma ball? Sure you have, right? Yeah, so a plasma ball is doing the same thing. It's projecting light outward, but in this case, the light in the concave Earth creates an apparition of the sun that we see above us. It's really not above us, and this is why people think that airplanes fly higher than the sun.
But I still am wondering why, if the glass is up there, what makes us see the sun over there?
bifringence. It's reflecting. If you shine a flashlight through a glass, it's going to reflect around and come back.
Yeah, but the glass is up there.
The
glass is up there.
Yeah, but the light will bend.
See it. Yeah, it'll bend, but we see it over there. What makes us see it over to horizontally?
Well, okay, so if it's horizontally, light is bending upward, as we've seen, and that's causing the light to shine from the center, bounce off the glass, and work perfectly to where we are.
Okay, so there's the key thing. Where are the experiments and the empirical evidence that light bends upwards all the time? Because that's a necessary thing.
Yeah, I agree too. There's a video you can look up on my channel called Scientific Evidence of Concave Earth and Lake Zagrinsky experiment that shows that laser lights over long distances are actually bending upward.
And what is this experiment?
And Lake Zagrinsky experiment.
Zagrinsky? How do you spell
Zagrinsky. And you can also look up scientific evidence for the concave Earth, and it'll show you light bending upward.
How do you spell Zagrinsky?
We're going to go to, let me put it in the link. I'll give you a link right over here. Z, Y. I really need to access my camera.
I've got a couple things here to say while you're doing that. So Brainy Beaver says flat earthers. I don't know why I said that. Don Giovanni says, I found faith. I joined the Silver Twilight Lodge. Whatever that means. And Bella Charge for 2 New Zealand says, it's magic. It's magic. Magic works, you muggle.
Yeah, so you can look at... okay, I'm sure you're familiar with Jaren's video, right? They did in the video called Behind the Curve. Behind the Curve.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so they put me in there without... Yeah, they put me in that video without permission. They didn't even ask me if I wanted to be in that video. They just put me in the frickin' video without my permission.
So you're in it?
Yeah, I'm at the very beginning.
Oh, you're a celebrity.
At Harvard University. So again, they put me in this video without my permission, but how I was out there in the public. So you can, in this video, Nathan Thompson is arguing, I believe it's Godless Engineer, and he admits openly, he's like, you can see the shoreline far above a boat, which that boat was about 15 feet up from top to bottom. In many experiments in lakes, Lake Zagrinsky, as a matter of fact, you can see light bending upward, and it just, to me, I have not determined through experiments yet whether, because I don't have the tools or the desire to go out and experiment anymore, I'm kind of turned off by it all, but you can see shooting lasers through glass, light bending upward. You can see lasers through glass, light bending down, but you can never shoot laser through glass and get a straight line for some reason. And so there's...
well, if it enters the glass orthogonal, it doesn't refract.
You maybe, but how do you get the sun to do that?
Well, yeah, the sun doesn't. But
yeah. So these are things to me that before we get into them, I only see videos, and they make a hell of a lot sense to me rather than thinking that the sun is 93 million miles away. It just makes sense that the sun to me could be 85 miles up and beaming out from the celestial sphere. Obviously, it's your job to tell me where megacriometeors come from. And if you can explain where megacriometeors come from, I will totally concede that. If you've got an argument,
I think there's a few more things first, like evidence for actual, like, something up there, right? Like the evidence for the actual, because we have uninterrupted film of rockets going past that altitude and then coming back down.
So I don't know if it's uninterrupted film, I do want to remind you that NASA hoards more helium than anybody on Earth.
But NASA was not the one that launched it, and NASA was not the one that filmed it.
Yeah, well, regardless, I think NASA has their hands in just about everything, but I've not seen a rocket go up yet that has the thrust force to prove to me that they're able to carry, hundreds of thousands of pounds, 239,000 miles up, or even, 300 kilometers up. And I've only seen Kelly, please stop. I've only seen 2 rockets in my whole life go up with such thrust and propulsion, and one was Mad Mike Hughes, and another one was Mad Mike Hughes broke the world record for the largest, and I don't care if he's a flat earther or not, right? Everybody laughs at the guy, but what you have to understand is the guy built his own damn rocket, and he broke the civilian man-carrying rocket altitude thus far. So everybody laughs about him because, they think that rockets really go up into space and there's uninterrupted video. But I just look at it and say, until I can see it with my own eyes.
So yeah, to be fair, I interviewed Mike Hughes, and I interviewed Waldo Stokes. Waldo is the one who's probably more involved in and more responsible for building Mad Mike's stuff. Because he's the guy that's the actual engineer building those things. But but here's the thing. Oh my goodness. Did you debate Joey Rocha?
Yeah, Joey Rocha's the idiot that denied that this is you can look up the video called Ernest Pearson debates Joey Rocha, and he's sitting there saying, Ernest, in the southern hemisphere, the stars don't rotate opposite of the northern hemisphere. And I'm like, dude, you can't be that stupid to believe that. They're going the same way, Ernest. I'm like, no, the observer sees everything moving east to west, but if you're on the southern hemisphere, they see the stars, the moon, and the sun rotate opposite as they would the northern hemisphere. And when he denied that, I'm just like, God, I don't want to be part of flat Earth anymore, because I never denied that the stars are observed by the person.
You can't deny observations. It just it doesn't add to your credibility. But Joey Rocha is a master of having no credibility.
Well, right, and he calls me. I think just recently he released a video out about me stating that I'm abusing my wives because I hoard them in my apartment. And I'm like, well, both of my wives are pretty damn well off, and they could leave me in a heartbeat. As a matter of fact, one tried to leave me in a heartbeat because he got so pissed off over this flat Earth nonsense that I ended up catching a protective order from police because she thought I went nuts. And then, I had to work through that for half of a year.
This isn't Days of Our Lives. We don't need to go over that stuff.
Yeah. And so if I was hoarding my wives or, doing the things that he's claiming that I would do, that's impossible. One of my wives is very wealthy. She could leave in a heartbeat.
All right. So here's the deal. I don't care what you think about NASA. This isn't NASA. NASA wasn't involved in filming it, and they weren't involved in they didn't launch this. This isn't their rocket. So this video here is from Red's Rhetoric, who you know because you debated him.
I don't know if I debated him. I was passing a kidney stone while I was debating him. 2 days, or I think a day later, I ended up in the hospital live streaming myself passing an 11 millimeter kidney stone.
Nobody wants to see you live stream passing a kidney stone.
No, a lot of people do, man. That video's captured a lot of hits, and people reaching out to me saying, "Man, I feel your pain." Because people don't know what it feels like to get a kidney stone,
Where is? Tell you what, do you know Jason McCormick?
I don't think so. I might know.
He's a concaver. He often shows up in my live chats on Tuesdays, and he's not here tonight. So
Well, I'm thankful to anybody that passed through. Listen, here's the truth. If they continue to pass through the,
All right, hold on. Do you see the video I'm sharing right now?
yeah, it's very choppy. I've seen this, a Falcon liftoff.
It's not just a Falcon liftoff. It's pretty cool here. It's uninterrupted. Uninterrupted from launch to landing, and you can see it while it's up in space.
You mean landing backwards? Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Come on.
People, well, you know, if you're gonna go get on Joey Rocha about denying the stars rotating in opposite direction, you know, it's just an observation that people can make. You could go and watch them land backwards yourself, and there were who knows how many people, thousands of people probably there. And oh crud, I'm not presenting that to the stream. So for some reason it's not. All right. Are you see? Did you see the rocket launch actually?
It's frozen. I see your Facebook. I think.
Okay. So all right.
Is that mine or?
It was the wrong window. It was all right. There it is. So I gotta. Okay. Now you're not seeing the right one.
I think I'm looking at Google right now.
Yep. All right. Let me do this. I'll pick the right window. I was sending you the wrong one. So there you go. Falcon Heavy launch. Presenting this, and then I will. Do you see it? Now.
Yeah, I see it right now. So, you know, until I get to Florida, wherever they're launching from, and I zoom in with my P1000 or my P900, the one thing I won't make the mistake of doing is zooming in.
Yeah, don't do the digital zoom. Digital zoom is no good. So, all right, here it is. Red's Rhetoric, and this is dedicated to AT2, who just left. He had to go to bed or something. So here it is, the launch. All right, so Negative Exponent says he saw this launch in person. Now, I've seen one launch in myself. There's thousands of people that see this, right? So to just say, oh, I have to see it myself. I can understand wanting to see it yourself. But just like, you know, you said to Joey Rocha, you can't deny that the southern stars rotate the other direction around a single point. Same thing here. I don't think it's very honest to be able to say that it, you know, they didn't actually land it backwards because so many people were there and saw it. Right. And Res Rhetoric.
I mean, I don't know unless like I said, you know, to me, the deception that the government is still evidently showing us is just so great that until I go there and film it for myself or see it for myself, I'm going to say that, you know, anything is possible on national television.
This wasn't on national television. This was just a guy.
See, what I would have done if I was filming that is I wouldn't have zoomed in so much. I would just leave the camera as is so that we have, you know. Now here's another thing.
Zoom fake. Now hold on. Don't change the topic here. We're watching this. How
fast do you think that rocket's going right now?
Well, I'm not listening to it, but it's about to cross the speed of sound there. So here's the thing. This is just one video.
P900, you think with a P900 or a P1000, you can film something going faster than 600 miles per hour? Forget about it. I do not believe that.
You just did it.
I can't do it.
So
I can't do it myself.
The thing is, it's not changing. It's you know, going up and now it's going to the side, but because it's far away, it's not moving that much in your view. It's not that hard to do. You can film an airplane going over your head at 500 miles an hour.
Yeah, I do film airplanes all the time, and let me tell you something. Airplanes are not going 600 miles per hour. And if you've got a Nikon P1000, it is very, very, very hard to keep an airplane in your viewfinder. It is very hard to do it.
There's no question about that. Now he had I think he was running a particular tripod with a mount on it to help him. because to make it easier.
I don't.
All right. So here's the deal. Look at this.
I just would say
this go do it. Disprove it instead of saying I don't believe it, because you're rejecting evidence with no reason, which is dishonest. So go do it yourself, and then say
I wouldn't be able to do it. I wouldn't be able to do it. I'm telling you right now. I can barely film. I can barely film a Federal Express airplane flying by Boston. It is so freaking hard to do, even with Joshua's calibrated camera stand. It does the movement for you. It is so freaking hard. I realized that, damn, filming these airplanes is pretty damn hard to do, much less filming a rocket. Come on, man. I mean, I don't know how I could do it, honestly.
Okay,
know how I.
So it's impossible then for you to film it, and so you could never believe it.
Impossible. For me, it's impossible to do. Absolutely, I don't think I could do it. I don't think that I have the ability to film.
So therefore, it's always fake.
No, did I say that? No, not at all.
I don't know what you're.
That's why I said that until I go there with whoever filmed this the next time this happens, and we film it together. I'm just going to hold my reserve and say, there's 80%. I don't think that the damn things are going to come back down and land perfectly. I just find that very hard to believe, but nonetheless, I think that, hell, if Mad Mike Hughes can get up in a rocket and go just a couple thousand feet, who knows what they can do with unlimited budgets? I don't know. I don't know. I will go the next time they do a rocket launch. I will drive to Florida or fly with my camera.
They do them pretty often. It's not a rare occurrence to launch a SpaceX rocket.
What we definitely.
So if you want to go there and see it, I'm quite sure that Red's Rhetoric would be happy to have you go, because he does that all the time, and he has an open invitation to Russian vids who's very, very scared.
Wasn't that guy a flat earther or something like that?
Yeah, he is a flat earther. Well, people think he's fake.
I don't think a lot of these guys are fake, man. I think that they're truly trapped in a conspiracy like I was.
So, all right. So here's the deal. I'm sure Reds would be happy to have you come watch him film it, and then you could take the card out of his camera and copy it or something. I don't know. Talk to Reds.
I would film it myself. I mean, I've got the same cameras.
But you said you can't film
would definitely. I can't even. Here's the thing, man. I can't even, when I go to the Boston airport, I can't even film a lot of these planes after they take off. About 20 seconds after they take off, they're moving so damn fast. You just cannot film them.
Position yourself a little better.
Really hard to do. Huh?
Well, figure out a different position to be in.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that, but eventually they're going to get out of position.
Well, of course.
I think how long has that video been going on right there? What, 45 minutes or 45 seconds to a minute and a half?
Yeah. It's
I don't know.
We're at 7 minutes. So
I don't know how he would do that. I'm skeptical, and I don't think that they're going to land a frickin' rocket. I'm beyond that capability.
So all the people that have seen it are lying about it?
Well, I would say this.
They have to be. If you're saying that they're not doing it, then all the people that have been to it personally and saw it with their own eyes must be lying. They all have to be in on it. I mean, how many people are in on this conspiracy? So that's not skepticism. That's denialism.
Well, I could be a denialist if you want to call me a denialist, but I'm just saying that until I go there and I can film that damn thing and I can see it. Why is it that you can get up close to Mad Mike Hughes' rockets, or you can get up close to air shows, but you can't get up close to these damn Cape Canaveral? You're set 1.5 miles, 2 miles away. It's really interesting why they block us from getting so close. I would say that if I were filming, that looks very choppy. That doesn't look like my P900 or P1000 videos. I don't have videos that freaking choppy. I have constant movement out of my P900s or my P1000. So until somebody can show me that until somebody can show me that they can do this with a school rocket, or a model rocket, I would say I would believe. But I've never seen anybody be able to. Hell, I have enough trouble landing an RC helicopter.
Okay, so your inability is all it takes. So
no, my inability says this.
It seems like it's just something that you can use to hide behind to deny things.
I'm not hiding behind anything. What I'm saying is that I want to go see the evidence for myself. I want to film it with my own cameras. I want to film it and see it there with my eyes. And the next time they have a rocket lift off that they're going to land on the ground, I want to be there. It's hard enough to do it with an RC helicopter. I mean, I'm pretty good flying an RC helicopter. I can tell you one thing, man. It's freaking hard to fly an RC helicopter.
That's not a comparison at all. Well,
no, what I'm saying, it's hard. You can also launch rockets, and it's going to be amazingly hard to land one of those.
All right,
things.
so you're going to go to the next. You're going to go to the next one where they're going to land.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to the next one. I'm a PTO father, and so I print for 5 school districts. I'm the busiest I've ever been in my career since I left Flat Earth and could devote attention to what I'm really good at.
So all right,
the next.
So so you're wondering how he does it. Bella Charge says that Red's video yesterday shows his setup. Now I did pull it up while you were talking, and I did not see. Let's see. Let me look here. Yeah, see, I don't see Red's video. Red's most recent video is 6 days ago. And then let's see. We've got Earth is Seriously Flat. Do you know him? He says, get your street activism kit at flatearth101.com. Apparently he
that guy's David Gessner. Anybody
don't leak his name. Don't.
Oh, it's all over the place. Okay. It's cool. He's my friend on Facebook. Everybody knows who David Gessner is. Flat Earth 101. You go get your Flat Earth gear at Flat Earth 101. You start out by lying to people, telling them that there's a 65,000-mile ice wall. And right there, you lose all the credibility. I think that the average person who is even a glow believer in MC2, Michael, I think that they would easily be able to refute his site. His site has so much nonsense on it that I can't believe that people still go out there and promote that nonsense. I mean, come on, that's the whole reason Tiger Dan left. That's the whole reason.
I don't understand why anybody thinks it's legit anyway. Myself, so
well, here's why I think that they think it's legit. Okay,
they've made a conclusion, and then they have to pack the evidence into it, which seems a little familiar to me.
Yeah, that's what I did. I look long before anybody came about. All these sites came about. I had what's called Yahweh's Flat Earth. I mean, talk about a religious nutcase. So you already distrust the government. You already know that the government has committed many criminal acts against civilians, and the government is already caught in lie after lie after lie, and this is just one more notch to the belt that reaffirms somebody's conspiracy that is causing them to deny much of reality.
But I don't see how that's different from what you're doing right now, though.
What, denying that rocket?
Reality.
Well, yeah,
you're denying reality.
No, I don't think that that's reality right there. Now, there are globe believers.
That's exactly what you're doing. You're denying reality. People were there. People filmed it. There's no evidence against it. It's just, I don't want to believe it. Therefore, it's got to be fake. That's what you're doing, Ernest. If you're trying to be honest, because people were there. People have seen it with their own eyes.
What I'm saying is that, look, I'm not going to take their word for it. I'm not going to take Red's rhetoric words for it, or whoever filmed that. I've got the same cameras. Before I believed it, I would want to go film it myself, because to me, if I could go film that myself and really see it, what the hell is he so far away from? Why are they hiding so much? Hell, you could be less than 1,000 to 2,000 feet away, and if that thing were to explode, it wouldn't even hurt you. But
and your evidence for that?
And my evidence for that, I don't think that. I don't really think that.
You don't. So your evidence is, I just don't really think.
Well,
So
because when I went to Cape Canaveral, I used to live in Daytona, Florida, and I'd always wonder, man, what the hell do they keep us so far back from all the launches for? Never dawned on me.
Because they explode.
Sure,
it's
they explode.
Rockets when they explode.
Rockets haven't worked since the S4 rockets in Germany. One of the hardest.
We just watched one where it worked.
Yeah, here's the thing, and I would just say that, in my opinion, I've got enough money. I can go check it out. I'm not poor. I don't have to worry about it that I can't get there. So maybe the next 1 or 2 times that they do it, I'll go out there on a boat and film it myself. I do think that unless I'm there, every rocket I've ever seen moves at the speed of helium, and helium balloons, and so I just
they go a lot faster than that.
Well, if they go a lot faster than that, I can tell you he wouldn't be filming that with the P1000.
And all that metal and fire will tend to have some problems with any balloon material that would be light enough. What's all that rocket coming from, or that fire coming from?
Well, I mean, you people build helium models and put fire flames on the bottom. They put
nothing.
Who knows? It could be helium blasting out the bottom with light under it, or a light, or some type of.
God, you can feel the heat yourself from miles away. It's amazing. Go into that. You feel the actual movement of the air goes through your body because of the rocket, and you feel the heat on your
when
face.
I get there. The next 1 or 2 times, if I'm not in a massive print job, the next times that they get around to this, I will try to go. I mean, I've got frequent flyer miles.
Yeah, they're constantly doing it, right? So, all right. So here's the thing. This disproves, and this disproves the some layer of glass up there, and so I see that. What's his name?
I don't think that rocket went 60 miles up.
Zenith Atlas is in the chat
he's here. See if you can get him here. See if you can get him on. He can video in. He's smarter than any flat earther. He's smarter than Eric Dubay.
That's not hard. That's a low bar, man. Come on.
I don't think that's not true, man. I don't think that Eric Dubay is a very stupid person. What I think he is very cunning. I think he's very deceptive.
I think he is, yeah, because I don't believe that he thinks it's flat. I think he likes the money.
He's making a lot of money on it. I mean, there's no doubt he wouldn't kill that gravy train.
But I think most are not faking, but I think he does. All right.
So when you go to Flat Earth 101's website, the fool is going to try to tell you that the Ross ice shelf is 65,000 miles wide around us. And I mean, the guy's got zero credibility, even less credibility than what I had when I was a non-credible flat earther.
Well, if let's see here, hold on a second.
You can ask him the questions you had about the sun inside of the celestial sphere.
Yeah, maybe
he can give you
because you've kind of handed it to him, right? That
yeah, well, I mean, that's what I hired him for. I hired him for because, one, he was a former flat earther, which he could dismantle flat earth arguments better than globe believers can, and two, he's got literally an IQ and an intelligence that is literally off the charts, man. I mean, literally off the charts. I've seen the guy squash MIT professors in just, rattling debates faster than they could than I could process what they're saying. He's a phenomenal guy, I mean, I give it to the fact that, no flat earther has beat him in a debate, and all they've ever done is run out crying worse than they do against globe believers. So I defer those questions. I defer those questions to him.
All right, then maybe it should be him that's in here. So
I just wanted to come in and tell you that that there are many flat earthers who are exiting the flat earth movement because they realize they don't have maps at work. They don't have models. They don't have answers to the questions. They deny, the observer observing the counter rotation of the star trails. They observe many things that they deny, and they're like Joey Rocha. To me, once I realized, that the stars prove that the Earth is not flat, I had to then say it could be a globe, and there's probably a lot more evidence that it's a globe than it is flat. And so again, MC Toon, before these guys came along, Nathan Thompson and all these guys, and they rode on the curtails of Dubé, there were people like Joshua and I who were out there.
So what was your experience with Nathan then?
Well, and trying to be honest, the guy is a train wreck, man. He's an absolute train wreck. In his personal life, in his God, he's just a train wreck. You're going to spend more time arguing through his fallacies just to get to any really substance of his argument. And that's a damn problem that flat earthers have, is that they're you spend more time arguing against these damn ideas than you do getting to the source of the real argument.
I agree. And I don't see how that's been different in this conversation, though.
Yeah, but you're asking me to. Hold on, Josh is messaging me. He says you need to be in the panel so you can at least talk with his hand, since he can't screen share. I don't know how you bring him into the panel.
I sent him the invite link in email.
Okay, so let me tell him that you sent him the email link. You got. Okay, so you have an email link there. He's going to get on it. I just came on to tell you that I think that out of all the organizations, well, there are no flat Earth organizations except for ours. They're mainly just Facebook.
Is that an?
I have to go back to the secretary. I have to go back to the Secretary of the State of Massachusetts and say, "Your secretary. I was pretty damn wrong. I'm sorry. We need to kill this organization pretty damn quick." I think that I have a lot of undoing ahead of me. But I can say one thing, that globe earthers today have more solid arguments than any flat earther that I've ever met. So and they're gonna think I'm a shill or anything like that. But most of the people know I'm not a shill. They know I'm just a guy that, has 2 wives, and that's all I really care about in printing. But there are.
It's like you got to keep bringing that up every time.
Yeah, because that's all there was, man. That's all there was before there were Facebook groups, right? In 2014. Dude, before there were Facebook groups in 2014, there was just really in America, my wives and I going out and flat earthing. Holding banners and sharing flat earth information at universities. And man, I got to tell you something. Harvard has a lot of flat earthers there. I mean, there are openly admitted flat earthers at Harvard that you can see in our videos. And
and they're not being
such
sarcastic?
a weird Huh?
They're not being sarcastic?
No, not at all.
Here's the question.
MIT has a school Hollow Earth organization, a college-sponsored organization for Hollow Earth that are MIT grads. Zenith Atlas is on the phone. How you doing, Joshua? Looks like his microphone is off.
We got no sound from him, so.
Hey, how you doing?
There we go. I will stop presenting so we can see both of you. All right, there is Zenith. And your name's Josh?
Yes, I am. I'm Josh. Hold on, let me turn my camera on here. Okay, yeah. Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Gary, hold on just a second here. Gary Wybenga wants a wrench. Sorry, Gary. You could email it to me if you want.
Yeah, so Joshua is the national director of NASA Lies as it exists today. We're just kind of all in this, Joshua and I in 2015, was 2015 or 17 one times. We used to go out to universities and different parts of Massachusetts, and we would go share flat Earth with people long before there was ever the movement or what it is today. And so, the questions you have like that, man, Josh is going to answer those, because when I realized the Earth wasn't flat, I just kind of quit researching. I'm at that place to where I'm just kind of freaked out about it all. But go ahead,
All right. So the question is, why does the sun appear to set full size on the horizon if it's that way and never that way?
So you're saying in a concave Earth, how do we have a sunset?
Yes.
That appears the way it does. Okay. First of all, I'll start off by saying that every person can only see so far, so we have limited visibility range. So the way the human eye works, we're basically going to see everything. We're going to see the sky wrapped around us like this, regardless of the shape of the Earth, because the Earth is so big and humans are so small. And that's why.
And what is the evidence that light can only travel so far?
Well, I didn't say light can only travel so far. I'm saying the human can only see so far.
Do our eyes? Wait. So are you suggesting that our eyes reach out and grab the light and pull it back in?
No. What I'm suggesting is that the sun that we see is not the actual sun. It's a manifestation. It's a reflection or an apparition or a projection or fill in the blank. You could use several different words, but basically it's some sort of manifestation or apparition of an actual sun that we can't see. And the evidence that I have of that is that we can zoom in on the sun, quote unquote, right there in the clouds, glowing the clouds. And so the sun will appear in the clouds, although I don't assert that the actual sun is in the clouds. I'm sure you probably would agree that the sun is not 1 mile altitude in the clouds.
Yeah.
However, from high altitude balloon footage, say 20, 25 mile balloon altitude, we see the sun literally it appears right there, maybe a couple miles above the balloon, but it always appears close. What we never see from the high altitude balloon footage is we never see from 20 miles up. We never have to look way down at those clouds, way down there to see the sun. So which is it? Which is the correct altitude?
Never? You've never seen that? I've seen a lot of videos doing that.
From high altitude balloon footage of a sun that's way down in the clouds.
Not down in the clouds, no, but
that's what I'm
at a lower elevation.
From the ground, we see the sun in the clouds, but from high altitude, we don't see the sun in the clouds. So it's like there's two different altitudes there. Also, if I'm in Boston, I can see the sun right there in the clouds or at 20-mile altitude. But also, the people in LA are experiencing the same thing. They're also seeing the sun right there in their sky. So everyone who is experiencing daytime, they see the sun right there in their own sky. How is that possible if we know the sun is a small, locally manifested light source? How is it possible?
But we don't know that.
And 1 mile altitude in LA at the same time.
But we don't know that. Hold on. We don't know that the sun is low in the sky. All evidence points to the sun being very far away.
Exactly. The sun is further away, but it appears this way. So that's why we have a sunset, is because we're not actually seeing the actual sun. Also, I believe our view of the sky is
why does the sun appear over there if it's actually there?
Anything moving overhead is going to appear like it sets. Even an airplane isn't flying over the curvature of the Earth,
but the sun is there.
An airplane appears to set too, but it obviously isn't flying over the beyond your field of view because the sky is freaking huge and one human is small, so he only gets a view of it like this. So an airplane can go over a human's head and just be a couple of miles away and appear to set. And the sun will do the same thing. Oftentimes we see the sun setting right into the ocean. It's like halfway. Now, obviously, that's not a disk of light half submerged in the ocean. It just appears that way.
Yeah. I don't agree, or I don't disagree with that. It's the question is, why is it appearing to be cut off by the horizon if it's this way?
Because the sun has to manifest to you, so it's gonna manifest.
That's not an axiom. I'm sorry, you don't get to use that as an axiom. You need to have some evidence for why it's gonna appear that way. Why does it have to manifest itself?
I'm explaining that it does appear that way. So that alone disproves that the sun is an omnidirectional light ball for either the heliocentric or the flat Earth.
Well,
the sun we see in the sky is not the sun. It's just every person, every camera, flesh or machine, whether it's a camera or a human eyeball, or a rabbit's eyeball, or a deer, any eyeball, that sun is going to manifest itself for that viewer. So that's why the camera at 20 miles.
So is it projecting onto something?
That's why the person on the ground, he gets a nice close sun. Boston, LA, Brazil, it doesn't matter. Everybody gets the sun in their own sky. Why? Because you live on the inside surface and the light source is coming from the center. And so if you live on a concave surface like this and you have a light source at the center, they're going to get the sun in their sky. They're going to get the sun in their sky. They're going to get the sun in their sky. That makes sense.
Not at all.
Like what I'm showing you here now, Michael.
That's it.
Yeah, Michael, that's what how can I have the sun above me in Boston so very close, and then somebody all the way over in Europe has the sun right above them so close? They don't. There's problems.
Nobody has it directly above them at the same time at different areas. There's always one subsolar point, and it's not far from another point that's got it nearly subsolar. Here's the cool thing. If everybody captures the angle to the sun, if you put that together, everybody points to the same spot if you map it onto a sphere, onto the outside of the sphere. If you put it on the inside of it, if you put it on a flat, of course it doesn't work. If you put it on the inside, none of that works.
But it does work. It works on the inside and the outside of the sphere.
The reason why, for it to work on the inside of the sphere, to work on the inside of the sphere, you have to show that the light bends upwards, right? That's a critical part of concave Earth. But where's your experimental evidence for that?
Well, you can use lasers. Laser beams will bend just as much as any light will. You can shine a flashlight into a fish tank and bend light. So bending light. I'm sure you would agree that bending light is not a theory. That is a fact.
Absolutely, and in our atmosphere,
bending upward is what you're talking about.
In our atmosphere, the light bends down except in extreme circumstances. That's empirically explored.
I believe light bends both up and down. I don't believe it's just one or the other. I believe ultimately it's going to bend towards more dense medium, which I believe is the sky. That's the thing.
Well, hold on. Except you don't have evidence for that. So let me.
But that's a presupposition.
No, that's a measurement. So first, let me give you.
You don't know what I have evidence of. You just met me, so that's a presupposition.
Yeah. All right. So there's a publication called "Monitoring the Refraction Coefficient in the Lower Atmosphere Using a Controlled Setup, Simultaneous Reciprocal Vertical Angle Measurements." It's a mouthful to say, but it has a lot of good information because they did a survey of other. Of a whole bunch of different experiments measuring and quantifying refraction. And in there, they identify very clearly that except in extreme circumstances, the light bends down, and the extreme circumstances are not common and requires pretty typically very hot sunlight right next to the ground. As you get farther up, these effects don't happen. So there's that, and
I would agree with that. At short range, yes, absolutely, the light is bending down.
This is at long range as well. So then, the atmospheric pressure reduces with elevation, right? And unless you have some evidence that against that, there's a large amount of evidence for that. I'm sorry, what?
I said I would also agree that pressure reduces with elevation.
Okay. So what causes the light to bend up?
I believe that.
Where's the evidence for that?
Okay. Well, I would assert without I'll state this right now. I don't claim to have proof. Okay? But I do have evidence, and I will assert that at short range, this is based on my experience filming. Short range, light does bend downward. In fact, most of the time when I skim the water with zoom, I'll zoom across at 5-inch altitude. See, the flat earthers like to keep their cameras on the tripods, and that's just a waste of time. If you want to really know the shape of water, you got to get right down, zoom across, use the opposite shoreline, use boats as reference, and you can tell most of the time water appears convex. I'll say that again. Most of the time water appears convex because most of the time the air is so distorted, there's so much lensing, looming, atmospheric distortion, atmospheric magnification, all these types of different things that change what you see. And so most of the time the water, it seems like you can only see 10 feet and stuff's going over the curve. You know what I'm saying? But when visibility is clear and I have huge visibility range and I can see far, that's when there's less distortion, everything's nice and clear, nothing's blurry. That's when I can clearly see the opposite shoreline of Lake St. Clair. I normally can't. Only on the clear days, the nice clear days, when I can see that opposite shoreline, it's clear as day. And I've got better footage than any P900, any flat earther will have, P900. So that footage shows both in the concavity. And light is proven to bend toward the more dense medium. And so ultimately, if our view of the sky is inverted and we're seeing everything as a Truman show, each person has their own hemispherical Truman show visibility dome over them. There's your clue, right? So every person has this. So when the sun traverses across the sky, it appears to go in an arc like this across the sky. It's really coming at you like this. So in reality, when the sun rises, it appears to rise up in the east like this. It's actually rotating down and towards us because our view of the sky is inverted, which is why we have this hemispherical dome, which gets all the flat earthers thinking there's a dome on a flat earth because they see the stars going like this.
Okay.
And so they think it's a hemispherical dome,
all right,
but really it's just an inverted half sphere.
But you've said that you've made these claims, but you don't have evidence that it bends up. And so here's the thing that I think you're doing is you've made a conclusion and now you're rejecting everything that doesn't match it. And you're filling in with conjecture things that do match it.
No, I'm not rejecting the science. In fact, I support a lot of the refraction science because I observe that through my own camera when I'm filming with my P900. So I know that there's a lot of truth to that. My observations is what I'm going off of, not just I'm just going to deny the science, because I agree there's lots of science and you're used to dealing with a lot of flat earthers who deny science. I get that. Spherical water exists, so you're not dealing with a real dogmatic person here. I do believe rockets can exist inside of concave Earth. I do think NASA's really doing stuff up in the sky. It's not all fake. So there's some common ground here where I understand that my observations do match a lot of known scientific facts. And what I'm saying is that it can still work inside of a concave Earth once, and I'm basing this off my obviously you haven't had my experience, and I haven't had yours, so I don't know what your experience is. If you had my experience, if you had been there on the water trying to get footage so many times, I would go there five days a week. I'd be there trying to get footage. I tell you the truth, 7 days out of 8, I couldn't even see the opposite shoreline, so I had nothing to use as a reference object against the boats. So I went home empty-handed. The water looks convex. I got nothing to film. So those atmospheric refraction arguments are real.
So because you could see the other side of the lake. See, the thing is, if the Earth is convex, then you seeing the other side of the lake matches the predictions for convex if the conditions are right. But what we don't see...
No, it's actually opposite, because we're told that in times of when there's more atmospheric distortion, that's when things are risen up above so we can see it greatly. We're told it's when there's more atmospheric effect that we can see far. And I'm saying that's false, the other way around. I noticed when there's less atmospheric distortion, that's when I can see far. That's the issue. And so the science is real. They just have it inverted because the curve doesn't go down, it goes up.
All right. So here's
my proof. You see evidence of that if you watch my footage.
What's that?
Which I haven't done yet, which is why you presuppose that I didn't have any evidence back.
And that's not very solid. Like
I do.
Was there some measurement? Did if light always bends up, it has to bend up.
It doesn't always bend up.
But in order for the sun to appear to set, it has to. Right.
Yeah, light does not always.
Yeah, ultimately, light bends up. Our view of the sky is inverted, so we're seeing a half of a roughly half of a celestial sphere rotating above us, but it appears like a dome over us. And of course, it looking like a dome over us supports both the convex, at least the convex stationary Earth model, and the flat Earth model, except the flat Earth model can't map the stars. The flat Earth model fails in so many other ways that we have to discard that right off the get-go, because it's either convex or concave. We know that. And there's no downwards curve. We know that. So, I mean, quickly, once you start comparing...
Hold on. What do you mean there's no downwards curve?
I strongly believe there's no downwards curvature.
Okay, so I'm not asking for a belief.
Except if we have like surface retention at the top of a glass or whatever. But that's. I mean, we're not taught that we live inside of a glass of water.
Yeah. So if we're on the surface of if we're on the outside of a sphere, then as you raise in level or in elevation, then it has to reduce, or it has to dip, right?
Well, if we live on the outside of a sphere, the horizon should never be at eye level, and as you raise in elevation, the horizon should drop and drop and drop.
Absolutely. All right. So that's not all that difficult to measure. It's measured all the time. So I'll have to share this to you.
I've yet to see, what we do. You can go to Revere Beach and see the other side of the water miles beyond a boat. It's higher than boats. You can go visualize this yourself. I can go to Cape Cod and film, sailboats, and the water's far above the sailboat's mast as I'm zooming out.
So here's the thing. You're just pointing it. You're just pointing it, and you don't know where. You're not measuring where eye level is if you just point a camera. So here's a view from a theodolite, which is a precision instrument designed to measure angles. The precision of this particular theodolite is 1 arc second, so 1/3600th of a degree. And you can see here, this is at straight 90 degrees, right? From zenith. Then he reversed it, right? So the other face here is at you see 270 degrees. So he flipped it, and then he flipped the telescope, right? And then he measured down to the horizon. He got 269, 52 minutes, and 10 seconds.
Sure.
So it always drops, and the great thing is it always drops as predicted on a sphere. All right, so you said it always rises eye level, but it doesn't.
Right, and I agree. The horizon doesn't always rise to eye level, which is another flatter false claim.
But you
now,
just but didn't you just say that it does?
No, I said if. Because oftentimes the horizon will rise with the observer at higher altitudes, but at lower altitudes like this, I will agree that the horizon is not always at eye level, and I know exactly why. It always appears under center. It didn't with my P900, but my P900 isn't calibrated as properly as this theodolite.
Yeah, it's not a theodolite.
So you still have a horizon that's under center, and I'm not going to call that evidence fake. What I am going to do is explain how it can still work in the concave Earth. The reason why is because on the outside of a sphere, the horizon is the edge, as the boundary as far as you can see on the Earth, because there's no more Earth. On the inside of a sphere, there's always more Earth in the background that you can't see because you can only see so far. In a concave Earth, the further you can see, the higher the horizon is, because it's literally a rising surface. So if you have a rising surface, like so, you have a rising surface. If you can see, this far, it's going to be this high. But if you can see this far, well, now the horizon is going to be this high. If you can see this far, now your horizon is going to be this high. So the further you can see, the higher the horizon is. So if you were able to see further, that horizon would be higher. So at low altitude like this, the horizon in a concave Earth would just be the limit of your vision, which doesn't necessarily prove the shape of the Earth. It just proves where the horizon is.
But what prevents us from seeing farther if it's concave? Why can't we see past that?
Because you can't see in the air is a fluid. You can't just see indefinitely through fluid. There's all kinds of particulates and everything in the air. Air has water in it.
But at nighttime we can see stars.
Right, because you're looking straight up. You're not looking through all that.
When I look horizontally, when I look directly above the horizon, I see stars.
When you're looking laterally, you're looking through the most dense layer of the air.
And I see stars.
You're not looking through all that moisture. You're just looking straight up at that.
But when I'm looking horizontally, I still see stars.
Twinkling stars, so it's a lot easier to see through a black background with twinkling stars than it is a glowing plasma, basically, which is basically why we have sunlight.
Wait, if I'm looking on the horizon during the day, and there's ocean there, that's not plasma. That's just more ocean. Why can't I see?
No, it's just air. You can't. You can. A human can only see so far. That's true even on the convex Earth. We should,
But you didn't explain why. You just said a human can't see so far, but you didn't explain why.
Well, I mean, you could Google it. I think Google will tell you the human can see 3 miles or something like that, or 5 miles, or whatever it is. But regardless of the shape of the Earth, it's a known fact. You can't just see.
No, we can see as far as the light travels to us.
We can only, aside from perspective, you know what I mean? A human can only see so far before everything reaches a point of convergence and he can't see anything.
It depends on the size.
If natural zoom like eagles, then maybe we can see far, but we need zoom cameras.
But
and as it turns out, when we do zoom out, bam, there's all the freaking, when we do see far, the further we can see, the higher the horizon is. So as I zoom out with my P900, I'm able to see further and further, which raises my horizon higher and higher, which is why I'm catching all these boats in the concave. That you can't do with a theodolite. If you could zoom with the theodolite, you'd do the same thing.
The theodolite has a telescope on it, so
all right. So I'll request that people give snapshots at different zoom lanes.
well, it's a fixed length telescope.
See if my flight is correct from like 1 foot altitude. See if you zoom up this far. Okay, we've got a theodolite perpendicular to zenith, and so it's level, right? And so you zoom out this far. This is how far high the horizon is off center. Zoom out even further. Now measure the distance. Zoom out even further. I promise you that as you zoom out, the horizon's going to get higher and higher and higher until it's above center, because you're zooming out across the horizon too.
I've never seen that. I'd love to see that. Maybe you could be the one to get that.
That destroys flat Earth. And
I don't care if it destroys flat Earth. We're not talking about flat Earth. There's no flat Earthers in this discussion.
Perfect.
So you don't have to defend against flat Earth. I know you're used to that.
But there's a lot of flat earthers that are watching this discussion, that they're about to watch this and quit being flat earthers.
I know.
Period.
It's your future, it's your crowd, right? Your future audience.
Well, I don't know. I don't have a future audience. That I'm just not dogmatic anymore, man. I have a different goal in life now, Michael. It's not being that guy standing on a corner carrying a freaking banner, disrupting people's days, and I don't want to be that guy anymore.
That's great. So
maybe I'll go out with my banner to Harvard and say I'm sorry.
All right. So there's some sort of apparently a projector that is projecting it. Like, where is this projector?
Just like this. It's in.
What projector? What do you mean?
It's inside the celestial sphere.
Oh, you're talking about the original light source that's powering the sun?
Yes.
Where is whatever is projecting?
Now we're getting to something really far away from the Earth's surface. Now we'd be getting into the realm of more of like faith and belief rather than proof or scientific evidence. However, there is that Seymour radar imagery, the Canadian medium orbital radar imagery, that does seem to show that there is some sort of something pyramid diamond shaped, within the center of the Earth, and there's more than one way to detect that. You can see that in the sundog. You can see in a sundog, it's got like this diamond shape, which is why you get all these.
So sundogs are
all kinds of stuff. But there's clearly a diamond shape in the sundog, and I will say that they believe that's a representation of an original light source.
But why do we only see sundogs in certain atmospheric conditions? Why wouldn't we see it all the time?
Well, that's a good question, and I'm not fully qualified to answer that.
Well, hold on a second here. Who's who? I forgot. Brother Ernest brought you on because you're the expert.
Well,
he talked you up.
Words. I don't know everything.
All right, hold on a second. I need to fix your screen so that you're.
I do believe that when we see stuff like that, when we see rainbows and we see sundogs and we see certain atmospheric phenomena, I do believe that's a representation of some sort of barrier in the sky.
All right.
Now, whether that barrier is glass or whether it's at specifically 62 miles or 100 kilometers, I can't.
Okay, so here's. All right, here's the problem. Can I
barrier from the side of a barrier?
Can I review? So you're chopping out a little bit in your voice. So I don't know if you can get closer, talk louder, or something. So here's the thing, and you get this with flat earthers too, right? And so do I. That they have a conclusion. And everything must match that conclusion, and they just reject everything that doesn't match the conclusion. So your conclusion is, it seems to me, is kind of the same. Like you've concluded it's concave, And when I say, well, you know, what's the evidence for the sun being on the inside and for where it is and how, you're like, I don't know, it's faith, right?
Well,
So here,
I'm in my car right now, so I can't screen share.
I get that, but
drop any links right now.
But you said it's faith.
But I'm not able to share with you within 2 minutes my whole experience and all the evidence that I've seen. I can't just like say it all and show it all to you right now. You know what I'm saying? So
sure.
my experience is something I expect you to just believe. You know? But for you to say that I'm just rejecting science, and for you to, I mean, to say that I'm coming to a conclusion and then only accepting evidence that fits that conclusion, I think is kind of hasty. I don't think you know me well enough to do that. My position is based on all the evidence I've seen. Both evidence, scientific evidence, footage of scientific experiments that other people have done, footage that other people have taken, footage that I've taken, just all types of real science that I've compiled into playlists and real types of footage that I've compiled into playlists and evidence, and people are welcome to look at that. I make it very available. It's not monetized.
Yeah. So what is your channel? Do you have a channel, or where can we find you?
Oh, it's Zenith Atlas on YouTube.
Okay, and I'll.
I left my other Flat Earth channel up just as a testimony to my journey, but people can find that on their own or whatever. I am not worried about that. Most of that is just like heliocentric debunk anyway. That's all Flat Earth can do. They can't prove a Flat Earth. So people can go there, and I've got a playlist called My Stellar Earth History. They can go there. Near the end of the playlist, you can find all the debates that I've had with these flat proponents and whatnot. But there's a lot of people deceived by this psyop, so that's why I really feel like it's important that we have these discussions. For a flat earther to listen to a concave and convex debate might be necessary for them to realize, oh shit, it can't be flat. So
Don't swear, Joshua. He has children that watch.
Oh, I apologize. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
More children need to watch this debate than they really need to listen in on this debate, because they're going to fall into the flat trap if they're being raised by flat earth parents, and it's pure brainwashing. I was guilty of brainwashing my children. Now I don't care. I let the schools educate my children. I realized, hey man, if I pass them off to the best schools in the country and they can't bring my children out of this trap better than I can, then hell, the best teachers in America have failed.
Yeah.
All right.
Which is why I moved us to Massachusetts.
I have to. So just a second here. I have to do a little logistics here. I had a something set up for 10, and the guy had to cancel, so I need to shut down that particular.
Somebody asked if we. I don't. Right. I just want to say something, because somebody asked me directly in the question or in the comments. I don't follow anybody. I don't follow Steve and Christopher. I don't follow, and it's probably why I am so at this point not qualified to talk about this subject as much as I would like.
Yeah. So all right,
I want to follow guys that go around thinking they're Jesus Christ, or I don't want to follow guys that go around dressing like women. That really kind of bothers me.
So hold on a second. I think probably a lot of the audience doesn't know what you're talking about. So, could one of you explain a little background of Lord Stephen Christ, and then he has his Mercury, who is going through a gender change or something? Can you just? I think you know maybe better than I do.
I'll field that one.
Okay.
The very first conversation I ever had with that guy, Nayland Harvey, I was telling him, you are a ladies' boy and you need mental health. And I met him a year ago, and he came out of the closet. So, geez.
Oh, so wait, before you do that, I need to warn you. Oh, hold on a second. Brother Ernest, I guess I need to warn you. Flat Earth Aussie Jesus is going to put a copyright claim on your beard. Just somebody was mentioning that.
Michael, here's the thing, man. I used to follow Torah and teach Torah for a long time, and I grew my beard as a demonstration of my faith in something that didn't exist. And both of my wives just got to the point that they like my beard, and that's the only reason I haven't shaved it off. But yeah, he can file a copyright against my beard. It's not a beard; it's a saddle.
Oh my gosh. All right, Josh, go ahead with.
All right, so just to refresh, your question was based. What exactly was your question?
Well, give us some background because Lord Stephen Christ is such a prominent figure in the concave movement. Can you just give some background because you're talking about him, and I think a lot of the audience does not know.
Right. Okay. So going back, Steve has been presenting evidence about the Earth going on the internet since 2006, and then he started presenting evidence about the Earth, being concave on YouTube starting 2011. And so he was here way before this whole flat Earth thing existed, even though there was flat Earth books in history, and I have them all, and I can use them to debunk flat Earth. But the point is that he felt like he was battling such a lonely fight for so long. I think he developed, if he's not the Messiah, then he developed some sort of
complex.
I wouldn't say complex, but maybe some sort of belief that maybe because I do believe he's correct about the Earth, and I'm not saying I think he's God or that we should get his tattoo or nothing like that. I've really only spoken with him a handful of times, and I hope he's okay. He got into an accident, he got hit by a car, and so he had some head injuries. So I hope he's recovering well from that.
I thought he was in prison or in holding or something.
Yeah, he's in prison right now. I guess I've never talked to him in my life. I don't know. But just so you know, Concave predates Steve and Christopher by countless years. It's not something that Steve.
He's a big name because he made a lot of claims.
Christopher invented. Yeah, Concave predates flat Earth. Hollow Earth predates
708 concave maps. So I mean, I show that the flat Earth is okay. Hey, if the Earth were flat, there'd be maps. You guys got like 5 maps. None of them work. I mean, look at 700 concave maps throughout history.
Well,
and even if they were wrong,
let's be honest.
The Earth really is convex. It's cool, but the Earth has to be spherical inside or out.
You get to use all the these maps here because these work for concave. So yeah.
Well, there is a difference.
Do you guys? All right. So we still a little background on still on Lord Stephen or LSC would be good.
Okay.
Hold on. You know what? Hold on a second. Jason McCormick is in the chat, and I know he doesn't probably want to come on, but he did know LSC, and so yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and so Jason, I'm just asking them to give a little background because I think a lot of the audience doesn't know. So just give the background so they know why he's such a big name.
Well, he's been very diligent, and whether he's been provided with help from I know he's had help from people around him, friends and stuff. Whether there's help beyond that, whether he's gotten help from the government or whatever, people think he's some sort of government agent or whatever, that's all hearsay as far as I'm concerned. What I do know is that he's presented, he was a graphic design professor, so he's good with CGI. So he's able to create these visual models and visual representation, visual aid to help the observer understand and match the visuals with the words coming out. So you don't just hear it, you can see it while you hear it. And it resonates better with people. So there's that. He in modern day he is the main source for
the main proponent
regarding Concave Earth. So to his credit, that is a fact. There's nobody with more concave Earth information put forth than this guy sees. So that being said, then aside from that, he received some attention also for threatening a president. In 2009, he threatened the life of Obama, and then shortly after I had made some threats to police, about a week later, he had decided he was going to threaten the life of Donald Trump in a YouTube video upload. So that got him locked up.
I got in a lot of trouble.
I didn't threaten any person, so my charges were dismissed because there was no victim. I just made a broad threat. He threatened the life of the U.S. president. So that was a little bit close.
Right, and I threatened the life of Benjamin Netanyahu when he came into Pennsylvania and got under Secret Service investigation. It was pretty bad in my life, but
I have free security for the rest of my life now, so
yeah.
That's cool.
Okay. So that's some background on him, I guess. And yeah, maybe if Jason McCormick someday, man, come in and you can give a little more background. So Trip and
Jason
Fool
McCormick was a concave earther before I was. There's lots of concave earthers that work on it.
Sure.
So I give a lot of the credit to them. They're
and Samuel Hancock.
Sam's one of them.
Yeah,
Sam,
a nice guy.
Guy named Gemini, Matthew Holt. There's several out there. Tyler,
Matthew Holt and I were just talking on Facebook. So
yeah, Matt. I know him personally. He's a good person.
All right. So there's a lot of problems, and you haven't really done much to explain to me what anything, because if on the outside of a sphere the horizon has to dip, and it does, and it matches predictions, and as you go up higher it dips more,
right.
And you've said that we can only see so far, but you didn't give an explanation for why we can only see so far.
That's what a horizon is. If you look up the definition, if you look up what a horizon is the line at which the sky and Earth appear to meet, which means the horizon is just the edge of water or dirt that you can see before it merges with the sky, your point of convergence, because you can only see so far. And so the further you can see, obviously, the further you can see. These observations do match a convex Earth, but they could also match a concave Earth. So these observations don't prove anything.
This is a good question. What's on the...
It's like saying water always finds its level. Okay, well, anything perpendicular to the center of a sphere is level. So water finds its level concave, flat, or convex. Saying water finds its level doesn't prove any of those three models, and neither does this footage out of the theodolite, because it can match all three models.
Yeah. So, all right. Somebody mentioned something here that I want to bring back. Both U2 and LSC have threatened people's lives. Is that what? Why is there some commonality that this is a thing? Is it?
They're publicity stunts to generate attention to greater truths.
I wasn't making a publicity stunt when I threatened to assassinate Benjamin Netanyahu. I wasn't kidding around about it, and I was
killing everybody. So
I was a globe earther then. I was so pissed off that I don't think that it's something that just a concave is going to.
So I'm not
publicity stunt to get, because hey, sometimes police got to shoot people, but sometimes police don't got to shoot people, and sometimes hey, I was getting pissed off. They're shooting people they didn't need to be. So there was that. There was all kinds of shit. I was just a pissed off truther. That's all. So I was like, fuck this. And it worked. It made national headlines. I made.
So here's okay. So here's what. I don't want to be rude, but is this a like a thing that I don't even know how to say it without just being over the top. Like,
it's okay to be blunt.
is it a thing that is a mental issue? I'm being blunt here. You said that concavers have a tendency to be more prone to that type of behavior.
No, because I don't think so, man. Because historically in the past, people who have assassinated people were globe earthers. Well, it's not something that just concavers do. More globe earthers are assassinating people than concavers.
As a percentage of the population.
I don't think that's the greatest argument.
All right, hold on. All right, let's get off that topic. I think that is a.
I was going to answer your question. I was going to answer it. You asked if there was.
Brother Ernest, you got to quit with that. I don't want to see that.
Well, I'm doing what's legal in the state of Massachusetts, Michael.
I'm not. I don't care if it's legal or not. Drinking alcohol is legal, and I don't have people drinking on my stream. So,
I'm a farmer. I grow plants.
Yes, I get it.
What the heck is wrong?
All right. So to answer your question, yes, I would say that there is. Well, I forget how you worded it, but we concavers.
Is this common among concavers? Is what you're saying? Is it something that's common among concavers? No, you just have two people that done it, but historically, assassinations have occurred by globe earthers. I'm saying on a large scale,
as a percentage of the population.
Well, there's always going to be people that do extreme things in order to get truth out, or in order to for activist reasons or for humanitarian reasons. So that type of mentality, doesn't really have to do with the shape of the earth. A lot of people will develop that type of mentality when they want to when they're burdened by a great truth that they want to expose. And so the same could be said of any other.
Okay.
There was tons of those people with 9/11. So you know what I mean? Same like.
I don't really want to get into that, but I mean, you could just say,
it was just an example.
Who assassinated JFK, right? And I know that the conspiracies that go out there, right? But you could say who assassinated, just every presidential figure that has been assassinated in the last.
Mentality of protesting. People go out and put because they have an emotional urge to, or a mental condition, if you want. They have a mental condition that gives them an emotional urge to go out and do something that, I don't know, call it extreme or something.
Yeah, I mean,
something to generate, something to wave a flag, an SOS or something. Like
the people who assassinated Tsar Nicholas, they were globe earthers.
All right. That's enough. You seem to not have gotten my percentage of the population idea. So here's the deal. Let's change the topics because I don't like that topic. So, what is, I guess somebody's asking, what do you think is on the outside or under the ground of the concave Earth?
Well, we've only drilled 7.6 miles, so it's tough to get any proof beyond seismic readings of. It does seem that there's metal down there. There's obviously lava down there, but
yeah,
almost regardless of the shape of the Earth, almost nobody can answer that question. They can just show you the diagrams in the picture books and stuff.
Yeah, well, seismologists have done an awful lot of work on that.
Right. I'm sure they would agree that there's metal down inside the Earth, and so there could be a metallic rind to this Earth, kind of like an onion layer or a orange peel or whatever. Hey, the Earth is an orange.
All right. So you don't know. We got one more question.
I don't know. Yeah, my answer is I don't know. Just like the next guy won't know. But,
yeah. All right. Fine. So,
30 miles underneath the Earth, who knows?
So the final question, and then I think we're going to wrap it up, is how do you predict eclipses?
The eclipse. I guess I'll start by talking about the Gegenschein with the lunar eclipse. I believe that they're predicting eclipses using the concave model, because there doesn't seem to be a logical way to explain the lunar eclipse and the heliocentric, and the flat Earth models can't really do it either.
So
the solar eclipse, solar eclipse can be explained, through any of the models, but the lunar eclipse is really perplexing, especially when you've got the selenelian, where you've got the eclipse happening on one end, and you've got the sun on the other opposite end of the horizon. So,
well, that works on a globe, just fine. It's predicted and has to work. Now, Jason McCormick says eclipses are easy. So it's not how. What's your explanation for it? It's what's the predictive model, and where is the model that uses concave astronomy to predict?
Okay, so all right, so in the concave model, you've got a rotating celestial sphere, a rotating ball of stars. Okay, so I'm just going to describe the model briefly so people can understand what I'm talking about.
Or you can look at the camera too.
Yeah, you're not on screen.
Well, right now your screen sharing the theodolite, so nobody can really see anything.
Yeah, well, no, only you guys are seeing that instead of me, so I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've got a rotating celestial ball of stars, okay, and that rotates at one speed, your sidereal day, and then you've got your moon orbiting around that at a different speed, and then you've got your sun orbiting around. So you've got three different speeds. You've got the moon speed, the sun speed, and the speed of the rotation of the stars. Okay, so obviously with when one passes in front of the other, you've got the solar eclipse. Okay, when the sun passes in front of the moon. But the lunar eclipse is explained when you have the sun opposite the celestial sphere as the moon. Now, light would be bending inside the Earth, and when light curves around back in the back of the celestial sphere, you end up with this funnel area where there's no light, and when the moon passes through that, that's what causes that T2, or the Rahu. The flat Earth is called the Rahu, the disk of darkness. And it's just an area where there's no light. So the moon passes through that and gets eclipsed by this darkness area. And that's really all it is. It's a darkness area that's preventing the moon from receiving light from the sun.
All right. Yeah. So I was.
The moon is.
I was a little more specific. I was more specific because I knew you were going to, give a rough description of how it happens. What I'm asking is,
hey, Michael, can you allow me to share my screen so he can have a visual behind him? It's going right now.
Yeah. All right. Hold on.
It is the explanation.
All right. If you can keep that what you're growing off the screen, I don't need to see that, please. So all right. So what I was specifically asking for is how they're predicted. What is the predictive model that that you can use? So like when will the next?
I did tell you. I told you the rotation of the celestial sphere and the sun and the moon operate at different speeds. And so if you know what these speeds are, then you can make predictions. And if you know how the sun is oscillating up and down as it orbits, you see the sphere there, how the sun orbits around east to west. But throughout the year, it's going to move north to heat up the top of the ball in the northern summer. And then throughout the year, it's going to, as it goes around, it's going to oscillate down like that, and it heat up the bottom of the ball. And so if you understand that, the celestial mechanics becomes really simple. Mercury and Venus orbit around the sun during retrograde because of the magnetic, the way, because it's all based on magnetic gravity. It's electromagnetic. Really.
Okay,
and,
so here,
pressure.
So because when's the next lunar eclipse?
I don't know. I would have to look that up. But anything that can be predicted on the outside, anything that can be predicted on the outside of the sphere. I mean, if you look at the screen, it's easier to see why this is so predictable. In the heliocentric model, you've got the Earth rotating, you've got the Earth orbiting, you've got the whole solar system, ours, blasting through space.
Yeah, it's difficult to predict, but they do it.
Movement. This looks so much. This makes way much more sense. This explains predictability.
Okay, but
this is why the stars haven't changed in thousands of years. You know?
That's why what?
I said this might be why the stars haven't changed in thousands of years.
But it's
because the relatives of all the stars aren't changing.
Oh, but they do change.
Slightly based on stellar parallax, but that's just because you're looking through, the sky and you're
not
sky
because of
around you.
Not because of parallax.
There's going to be some stellar parallax, but the relative position. That's why the constellations haven't changed in thousands of years.
So
while there's still stellar parallax still exists.
No, it's not. Hold on. It's not parallax.
Magnetism and all that stuff when you look in the sky is real, but the relative positions of all the stars hasn't changed at least a few thousand years based on our history.
So
it can't be denied. I mean, the star constellations are pretty hardcore historical evidence going back at least a few thousand years. And if we're moving at the speeds we are according to the heliocentric model, I mean, we wouldn't even see.
Hold on a second. You're rambling. You've claimed that stars don't move. I have on the screen right now, and
They do. They do. Polaris at one time was not our, North Pole center star. There was a star before it that, supposedly.
Thuban, but here's
move based on true magnetic north because the celestial sphere isn't always rotating perfectly like you spin a top on a table.
Okay,
there's magnetism. It's going to change a little bit, and that's why you have that.
Okay, so hold on. You said the stars have never changed. I have on screen right here documentation,
they
and all right. So the two of you aren't agreeing, and I get that. But it's moved. But all right, fine. You don't have a prediction for eclipses.
We do. I just showed you one. The December eclipse was right in the model that I showed you. The May eclipse, the May lunar eclipse of 2021 was right in that model that I showed you. And I don't believe that Polaris was always, our North Star. There's evidence. I think Thuban was the star that was a North Star before, and then Vega was supposed to be the next North Star. So I mean, the celestial sphere rotates and moves.
Okay,
but and there's also no proof. Now, if we've got a rotating ball of stars, that means each one of those stars, the light source is coming from inside that celestial ball of stars. And so I'm not making the claim that it's not possible that one star, like the relative movement of the stars, couldn't change throughout time. And I would agree that that's what's happening. What I'm saying is so long for that to happen that we can't be orbiting the sun year. It just doesn't make sense. I wouldn't be able to see the Big Dipper all year round if we opened the sun. Because 6 months from now, I'll be looking at an opposite end of the universe.
No, all right. So you can't disprove the model by not understanding it.
What?
You can't. Okay. You can't say we should not see the Big Dipper because we should see the Big Dipper.
All year round.
That's not what he said, though.
It is what I said. How can you see the Big Dipper all year round if we orbit the sun?
Well, no. Precise. Well, it depends where you are, but
in the northern hemisphere,
heliocentric model.
Right here.
If the Earth is a ball orbiting around the sun, I should be looking at 6 months from now.
Hold on.
Nighttime this way.
Let me talk. I'll explain it. Here we are, North America, right? The North Celestial Pole is up here, and the Big Dipper, it does a tight circle around here. So it's always this direction from us, right? So when we're
just seeing the white screen, I'm not seeing you.
All right, yeah, sorry. I gotta stop presenting. All right, so now, unfortunately, then you guys are on the wrong spot on the screen, so you don't look right. So sorry.
No worries. I can see it just fine.
All right, yeah, but
You guys like my shirt, by the way?
yeah, that's a weird one. All right, so here we go. Here is. We keep getting questions. I'm trying to wrap it up, but well, all right. So here is the North Celestial Pole is here. We got North America right here. When we look this way, we see the Big Dipper doing tight circles around the North Pole, the North Celestial Pole, right? So as we rotate, we do that. Now, when we're over on, if the sun's here, right, it's still the Big Dipper up that way. And if the sun's here and the Earth's on the other side, the Big Dipper is still that way. So it's completely predicted to be able to see the Big Dipper for most of the northern hemisphere all the time. Now, the difference is, say Orion is this way, we can see it at night, right? Because the sun's in the middle. If the sun's around here in the middle and the Earth's on that side, we can't see Orion, right? Because the sun is in the way. It's still there, we just can't see it during the day. So it completely works. So, all right. Some people had other questions, but Clay Corbin says, I see you have all two concave earthers on your show. No, there's a few more.
Well, listen, let me say this, man, I just want to say,
lots in Germany, that's for sure.
Yeah, I take this stand, man. I'm never in my life going to take the stand again that I was so right that I couldn't be wrong. I don't know where I live. You know what I'm saying? I don't have, I honestly, I don't think Joshua knows either. I don't think you know either to assume. Yeah, I think, to be most honest, I say, look, man, I just don't know where I live, but it can't be flat. I know it's enough that it's not flat.
Yeah,
you know, I know that if
Sorry.
All right. Well, people keep coming up with more questions. But I think we're gonna move on. I'm gonna do it.
Vega, I think, Michael, Vega's our next northern star in something like 14,000 years, maybe 13,000. I forget. And according to, you said earlier, I don't care what the ancients believed, but even the ancients knew the stars moved. But yeah, we're set with Polaris right now. Yeah. I mean, I forget how long ago it was that Thuban was the North Star. So I don't know. I have to Google how long. I used to know, but I don't know anymore, unless I Google it.
Yeah. All right.
I guess, how long ago was Thuban our North Star?
All right. Well, thank you guys. Thanks for coming on.
3000 BC.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me, and I appreciate it.
Yeah. And Jason, maybe Jason McCormick or Matt Holt, maybe someday you guys want to come up. I gotta say, it doesn't make sense. So all right, thanks a lot, guys. I'm gonna do
every flat earther is wrong. They are wrong. The Earth is not flat. We join the convexers, and we start to try to get the flat earthers to at least accept the curvature of the Earth, be it upward or downward. And they're going to have one hell of a time when they admit that you go to Flat Earth 101, and that scammer has ice walls that are 65,000 miles long, lying to people when it's really the Ross Ice Shelf that they keep showing people.
You have a Flat Earth website too. So who owns Flat Earth 101? Do you know who that is?
David Gessner. David Gessner.
That's Earth is Seriously Flat?
No, that's Flat Earth 101. The guy thinks that.
Okay.
The guy is a very fundamental flat earther that even a basic concaver could shut him down in a heartbeat. You would just steamroll him.
But what's does he go by David Gessner, or is he?
Well, that's his legal name.
But who are you talking about?
He owns FlatEarth101.com.
Yeah, but does he have a different name on YouTube?
Well, I don't know if he has a YouTube channel, but you can look him up on Facebook, David Gessner.
Ah, I see. Okay. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, the majority of those people are religious flat earthers. I don't know where he stands on religion. I think it's very much a.
What's this? Daniel Faulkner would disagree with you. He's not on, and same with Infinite Plane Society. So, all right, I'm gonna shut this down.
Is that the guy Tim, Infinite Plane Society?
Yeah, he's a little troubling. So, all right, we need to move on. Thanks a lot. Thank you to thanks to everybody else who was here. I'm going to do a quick after show. We'll see if anybody wants to come on and have some talking, and just look for that link. I'll put in the live chat here, and it's already on my channel. It's the one that was to start at 10, which was about 40 minutes ago. So all right. Thank you, Brother Ernest, and let me see here. Outro video. Thanks a lot. All right, bye.